Hello, everyone, and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, we find ourselves stranded on a slightly modified version of Nomad, where both players are starting out with 9 villagers and apparently a pet eagle or condor or vulture or whatever that is. This seems to be becoming part of the high-level meta I've noticed more and more. And on maps like Arabia, Arena, even Black Forest, the players start with 6 villagers underneath the town center for food, and 3 villagers nearby to start collecting lumber right away. On this map, if you take a look at the mini-map at the bottom of your screen, you'll see 9 red dots, 9 blue dots, all of which is to say that, in my opinion, super early game micro is incredibly important. You need to deal with your villagers, allocate them quicker, and make sure that idle time is lower than your opponent's. Easier said than done, especially when you have 9 villagers as opposed to the usual 3. Now, while the players establish their bases, let's take a look at who's actually playing today. In blue, playing the Portuguese, we have a man who needs no introduction, GL.DauT. And playing the Spanish in red, we have KGB's Fire. Now, the Spanish Civ is preferred by some on Nomad because the builders construct structures, I think, is it 30% faster or so? Essentially, they build things faster, which on a map where you have to build your first town center is a massive advantage. Also, their blacksmith upgrades cost no gold, which means you can get by on, at least in the beginning, on skimping out on a little bit of gold. On the other hand, the Portuguese are a great civ for Nomad. Their military units cost no gold, their ships are beefier with stronger armor, and researching technologies is actually much faster. So this will be an interesting matchup. Both civilizations have very, above average powerful gunpowder units. One fires quicker, and one just fires more accurately, and hopefully we'll get to see some in action. A quick aside, every time I see KGB's Fire play, I'm reminded of that scene in The Office where Dwight begs Michael for a knock-knock joke, and then slaps him and says, "The KGB will wait for no one." And then Jim basically does the same thing to Dwight. Anyway, getting back to the game, both players starting out with a town center nearby. I think I've said in my previous Nomad cast, when there's no treaty, usually, on maybe lower elo games, there's a 5-minute treaty where players can't attack each other. Players tend to scout a little bit more. They get a better sense of the island, and then, they see where they want to build their town centers. When there is no treaty and people can attack right away, town centers are generally built immediately, usually near lumber, because that's obviously the resource you want to accumulate to build more structures so that you can mine more, forage more, etc., etc. Both players starting to expand into the water side of the map, doing a little bit of shore fishing, a little bit of deep sea fishing. Both players sitting on 18 villagers, both going up to 19. Fire is a little bit ahead on the fishing ships, 5-3. That being said, GL.DauT is already up to feudal. Look at that. Fantastic. At the 6-minute mark on Nomad, he is up to feudal already. He has chosen a location next to these beautiful fruit bushes, which, as everyone who watches my cast knows, the lemons are my favorite because they come with these pretty blue butterflies. Let's see where Fire chose to build his town center, near the gold. So both players opting for a slightly different strategy because they didn't take the time to scout the island and pick a desirable location for their town, or more desirable, I guess, location for their town center. They are fairly close to one another. So we'll see if this leads to some kind of rush by one or both players. We'll see if they'll leave each other alone. Let's see if... Yeah, so Fire knows exactly where GL.DauT is, and look at his map vision. He's scouted, I would say, what is that, 65-70% of the island. GL.DauT, on the other hand, has no clue where Fire is. Will it be important? Who knows? He'll be in feudal in 15 seconds. And he's starting to scout the map as well, sending out these tendrils of exploration. The sheep, always good. And he's up. Fire not far behind, 50 seconds. Let's see how the players start allocating their villagers, because that'll tell us what they want to do. GL.DauT is taking a very balanced approach. 14 on lumber, 4 on food, 3 on gold. And our Spanish red player, 12 on wood, 6 on food, 3 on gold, 4 on stone. Interesting. Stone. Is he going to go towers? Is he preempting some walls? Or a castle in Castle Age? Let's see. He's putting out a couple of spotting. I like this. This is okay. So he's going. I'm interrupting myself. He's going towers, and let's see. This one is not exactly placed in the best location. I mean, it covers some of these bushes and some of this forest line, but you know, these villagers can continue gathering resources without being harassed. This I really like. These spotting houses, let's call them. This will basically tell him the second DauT moves out to collect this gold, this stone, Fire will know exactly where he is, and he can harass or he can respond accordingly by shifting his eco or creating whatever military he thinks will counter whatever DauT is making. We've got a little bit of action here. DauT's sending out some fire galleys. Fire galleys take a while to kill fishing ships. Like, look at this. Yeah, it's a very painful death with fire, but not a quick death. So a horrific way to die. And it looks like DauT has taken control of the southern part of the ocean here. In the north, he is fishing completely unharassed. That being said, I saw a couple of red dots moving out. Fire is sending out his own fire galleys, and we'll see if DauT sees them, responds, how he reacts. In the meantime, he himself is attacking this dock, which is building its own fire galleys. So we'll see a few naval battles, always interesting to throw those in. Neither player opting for any kind of land-based military, both sitting on 26 villagers. All of Fire's fishing ships are gone. So he's in a bit of trouble. He's only got 5 on food, 6 now to DauT's 13. That might bite him in the ass, because you do need 800 food to go up to Castle. But he's building down another tower, so let's see if he even wants to go to Castle. An interesting location for a palisade. Notices the gap, builds a wall, tries to build a house. Okay, here we go, a defensive tower, another tower. Okay, so Fire is trying to light a fire under DauT's ass, pardon the silly pun. DauT abandons the idea of defending and relocates. So where's he going to go? He now has been shoved away from this stone, this lumber, the increased range of this tower. Let me, if I can click on it, 8+1 has given it control over these fruit bushes. So this is not a source of food for DauT anymore. So all of his original resource gathering locations are now gone. He's built 2 mining colonies to the west of the island, 5 here on gold, 3 on stone. We'll see if Fire notices, and if he does notice, if he'll allow DauT to mine. There we go. He sees the palisade. He sees the villager. Let's see how he reacts. Okay, he's okay. I think he's trying to zone out more villagers from coming into here. That being said, how will he deal with this? Let's take a look. Minimap is going crazy with little bits of action everywhere. Tower, both have 5 villagers inside, so idle time for both is ridiculous. 8 idle villagers for DauT, 7 for Fire. Villagers attacking villagers, always fun to see because they require a huge amount of micro to do that successfully. These fire galleys are basically sitting here. They're, you know, on sabbatical because there's nothing to attack. What does Fire have? He's got 2 fire galleys just chilling in the, what is that, the northeast corner of the map. Nowhere close to any of the action. These are like the 2 guards at the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean that they just shove them off into the middle of nowhere so they, you know, don't bother anybody. And let's see, another tower going down for Fire. So he's using the non-gold upgrades of the blacksmith to beef up these towers. Let's see if he gets to Castle and continues to increase the range. For now, we've got scuffles and melees. Women, men attacking towers, attacking each other with these swashbuckling swords that they have. Villagers dying left, right, and center. Minimap going crazy. Blacksmith going down for DauT. DauT is sitting on 500 food, 400 gold, so he might be looking to go fast Castle, or at least faster than Fire, who is sitting on 2 food. That is going to be a problem. 2 on food is nothing. Where are his villagers? 10 on stone. Okay, so this is a player who wants to continue putting up tower pressure. And I don't know that this is game ending, because look at DauT's adaptability. This is incredible. So he was attacked here in his main base. Then he fled west to this mining camp. Then he fled south to this mining camp. Then he fled even further west, or tried to flee together to get these resources, the gold at the top and the stone. When that came under attack, and now that's under, under Spanish occupation. When that came under attack, he then went southwest and started gathering the lumber here. DauT is basically hoping that Fire stops the nonsense with the towers, realizes that, they're not really accomplishing much, and that DauT will have a huge advantage going into castle, which my opinion is he absolutely will. Look at the villager count, 40 to 27. Well, 38 includes 2 fishing ships, which... Okay, 1 fishing ship, and now this one will probably die also. So we're looking at 39 villagers going up to 41 against 27 going up to 29. So essentially a 12 villager difference at this early stage of the game is very problematic for Fire, if not deadly and game ending. So DauT, however, still needs to collect, about 400 food. We'll see how he plans to do that now that he doesn't actually have access to a lot of food. We've got a couple of ostrich here. We've got another wild boar. He's gathering the berries here with 11 villagers. So this is a man who wants to go up to castle. He does not mind taking any of this damage. These tower rushes, I'm torn, Let me know what you think in the comments below. But in a map, I'm going to zoom out. And as always, apologies to anyone on a smartphone. But on a map that's this big and this open, are tower rushes really a good way to go? Because look at DauT, hopping from one location to another location to another location. He's got a lot of space. Plus there's more stone, there's more food, there's more lumber here. That I'm not crazy about, the tower rush part of Fire's strategy. What I love is these spotting houses. I mean, look at his vision of the map. The second DauT moves out, the absolute second he moves out, Fire knows exactly where he's going. And that is just in this game, it's what you need to win. If you don't know what your opponent is doing, if you're in the dark, if the fog of war has taken up more of your vision than your own line of sight, you're in big trouble, unless you just hunker down and do your own thing and your opponent lets you live. But it doesn't look like Fire is gonna let DauT have even a second of rest. How many towers are there? Sorry everybody, I'm just going to take a look. 7 at this point. 7 towers so far, and he still has 10 villagers on stone. This tower will go down, so probably 6 towers. Is this a tower? Yeah, another one going up. Fire is going all in on these towers. I think he's trying to contain and constrict DauT so much that DauT has driven off all of the resources and then can't go up to castle. Little does he know, as we do, if you take a look at the top left of your screen, DauT is 50 seconds away from being in castle. And once he's in castle, these towers are garbage. They're not going to accomplish anything, because in Castle Age, especially the Portuguese, they've got 1,000,001 options. He can go knights, he can go siege, he can go 20 different things to get rid of these towers. Both players seem to have given up any kind of desire to fight on the sea. They're using their existing fire galleys, a demolition raft being built for some reason. I guess to take care of these 3 rafts that are returning home. And DauT has his own towers, but let's see. Now he's in castle. And Fire is nowhere close to castle. For some reason, he's got 500 gold, and he has 2 villagers on food. 2 villagers. At a time when he needs to gather 800 food, he is focusing on tower rushing. He sees this castle, I think. Probably, yes. So is this going to be a quick GG from him? Is he going to reallocate? Oh, no, he sold a whole bunch. If you take a look at the left side of your screen, sold a whole bunch of gold. I'm saying sold gold. He bought food. Sorry. sometimes you try to say something and it comes out a bit more complicated than it has to be. He bought food. That being said, he didn't buy nearly enough. He's producing more villagers, still only 2 on food. DauT is doing a fantastic job just patrolling the waters, making sure that this 400 of lumber that Fire has is not allocated towards fishing ships, and if it is, that those fishing ships are sunk and burned immediately. Another little naval battle here, but at this point of the game, I mean, 2 more town centers going down for DauT. At this point of the game, is the water even important? I mean, is either player going to continue to invest beyond building one unit? Ooh, this I don't know if I agree with. Let me know what you guys think. This is a huge investment in lumber. I keep saying lumber, in wood and in gold. And is it the most efficient unit to get rid of towers? Or is he going to just try to squeak like Catherine Zeta-Jones, try to squeeze between these lines and try to harass the villagers? But the villagers aren't that clumped, so these organ guns shouldn't, they're going to take a while to do any kind of real damage. He's going up to 5. Okay, interesting strategy by DauT. Minimap is a flame, arrows flying left, right, and center, literally. And organ gun here, or at least the outline of an organ gun taking out this. I don't know why he's not building siege. He's instead attacking with villagers. I think maybe he knows that Fire is nowhere close to going up to castle. There's the siege workshop, so will it be rams? Will it be mangonels? We'll see in about 40 seconds what he decides to do. And action everywhere. 1 fire galley left for Fire, so he's completely abandoned the water war and has conceded defeat. And there we go, the first battering ram coming out. So this is now DauT's game to lose. He hasn't won it yet. Fire will be very close to going up to castle in another 30 seconds or so. Oh, he bought more food. He's 35 food away from going up. For some reason, he spent all his gold right now, which I don't know, makes no sense to me, but he's probably wants to keep putting on the tower pressure. Monastery coming out for the Portuguese. A wall off to the north for some bizarre reason. And take a look at the mini-map. I should have made them green and red to make it look like Christmas. Look at this. It's lighting up like Christmas lights everywhere. These rams are super slow, but what does Fire have to respond here? He's finally up to castle, or at least starting to go up to castle. But I think the second he notices these rams, I mean, it must be GG at this point. He's got nothing. He's got no military. He's got 41 villagers. Look at look at the top of the screen. 41 villagers on the right, 65 villagers, a monk, 11 organ guns, 2 rams, 6 fire galleys, and 2 demolition rafts. I bet he's regretting building those demolition rafts at this point, but he's got plenty of resources, so he can build whatever the hell he wants. Like I said, this is DauT's game to lose. It'll be interesting to see what Fire does when he gets to castle. Oh. DauT? Dropping a DauT castle? How bizarre. Let's see if Fire notices. For now, he does not see it, but here they come. The train of villagers, the builders. And we'll see when they get to the castle how Fire responds. He's in castle himself in about 15 seconds. He's got a bunch of food, a bunch of gold, a bunch of wood, and enough stone for his own castle. Oh, okay. He opts instead to GG. I mean, that's probably the smarter move. DauT is so far ahead. I think that in a map that's this open, like I was saying, tower rushing might work on some players, but DauT's versatility and his adaptability is super impressive. I mean, yeah, just fantastic. One location shat the bed, he flew to another one. That one shat the bed, he flew to another one. That one got taken over, he flew to another one. Eventually, gathering a little bit here, a little bit there, managed to get to castle way ahead of Fire, who had to use his market to buy, sell. And at the end of the day, DauT persisted And look at the villager count, 74 to 36. That's more than double. That's more than double the villagers. So DauT found himself in a much nicer position. When you tower rush, it soaks up a lot of resources, and you need a lot of villagers to sustain the rush. You need lumber, you need stone. These are two resources that do not get you to castle. For castle, you need food and you need gold. And wood and stone are great. And if this was Black Forest, or if this was Arena, or if this was any other map, Socotra even, something smaller, something more compact, and with fewer giant open areas like this, fewer resources. Look how many resources there are on the map. How many ostriches? 6 in this screen alone. 12 bushes, fruit bushes. Yeah, tower rushing just doesn't work. I mean, had he maybe put some to the south here and some here, it would have been a different story. But I think he put them to the east, put them to the north, which naturally drove DauT southward. And southward, there were still a bunch of resources for him to get. Look at that, 3,000 gold left in that pile. A whole bunch of stone that he's already mined. And DauT just put his head down and just relocated until he was in a position to go up to castle. Not sure I agree with the organ gun strategy. I think maybe he thought he would run into some feudal armies. But the reality of the situation for fire is, like I said, when you go heavy into towers, they cost a lot of wood and stone. And those are two resources that are not really needed in feudal. Wood always you need in feudal for army, but he wasn't going army. So he should have focused maybe a little bit more on food, a little bit more on gold. He could have given up the water earlier. In any event, DauT, fantastic adaptability. Other lesser players would have GG'd themselves a long time ago, as opposed to constantly building, shifting, build, dip, dot, dodge. What is it from dodgeball? Dip, duck, dive, dodge, and dodge, until all the wrenches that fire threw at him were depleted. And at the end of the day, DauT stands tall. The second I think fire saw this castle, he saw that, he's so far behind. On not only that, if you take a look at the scores on the bottom right, he's 2,000 points below. I don't put a lot of value in that score, but in this case, it's such a disparity that, yeah, the smart move by Fire to GG, live to fight another day. And if you like what you saw here tonight, feel free to leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, all that good stuff. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.